Hello, it's Stephen Bedard, and sadly, I want to talk to you about Bruxy Cavey. I was quite sad to hear that there have been accusations of sexual misconduct against Bruxy Cavey. Bruxy Cavey is one of the most well-known preachers and pastors in Canada. He's also very influential in the United States and elsewhere, and he is greatly respected by many people. And the first thing I want to say is I don't really want to make this video. I don't want to talk about this. And I am only doing it reluctantly because recently I spoke to some people who had read some of my posts and watched some of my videos about Ravi Zacharias and found them helpful. Not inflammatory, but just helpful. And so that is my goal in talking to you about Bruxy Cavey. The other thing I need to say is I have zero understanding of what is going on. I don't know any of the details of the accusations other than it is about sexual misconduct. I don't know if Bruxy Cavey is guilty. I don't know what has taken place, and so I am not here to make those judgments. I just want to reflect a little bit about what has happened and how we have learned from some of the controversies of the past. Because sadly, there's been some really high-level, well-known pastors and Christian leaders who have fallen and have sinned in not just in terms of having experienced adultery or anything like that, but seem to have been guilty of more than that, of perhaps even abuse of power and using that power to take advantage of others. Again, I'm not saying that I know that that's what Bruxy Cavey has done. I don't know any of those details, but I think that we have learned some things from this. And as sad as I was to hear about Bruxy, I was encouraged when I saw the note that the Meeting House, which is the church that Bruxy is the teaching pastor of, that they indicated, first of all, that they made it known right away, didn't try to hide it. They announced it to their congregations through some kind of note, and stated that they take this very seriously. They didn't come out as RZIM did, saying, well, we know what Ravi's like, and I know he's not like this, so we know he's innocent. That's not what they're saying. They're taking these accusations very seriously, and they are making sure that the person who has come forward is receiving care and support, and that is something that is important as well, because we have seen some examples from the past where organizations have seen these accusations as a threat to their existence and have tried to destroy the victims, which is unbelievable that that would even happen in a Christian context, but that has happened in the past. That does not seem to be happening here. Bruxy has been put on leave, and there is an investigation, independent investigation that is taking place, and it looks like the Meeting House has definitely learned from the mistakes of the past. I do want to acknowledge that this comes to our attention because Bruxy is such a big name, and we do have celebrity pastors. Actually, I was recently talking with some people, and they were saying how this seems to be more of an issue in the United States than in Canada, which is not quite true because, well, first of all, Jean Vanier, who is one of the people who has his reputation has been destroyed when it came to light what he had done. He had a very strong Canadian connection, his father being one of our former Governor Generals. Even Ravi Zacharias had a strong Canadian connection. He lived here for a long time and went to seminary in Toronto and So he has a very strong Canadian connection. And then we have Bruxy Cavey, who's Canadian. So it's not an American thing versus a Canadian thing. We also see that the people who seem to be immersed in this kind of thing are not just the kind of slimy televangelists that are out there. There's some people on TV who there's something wrong when you see them. You just know that there's something that's just off about them. And it's not just them that we're hearing about. It is people that we respect. And again, I say Bruxy Cavey has been one of the most respected pastors and Christian leaders in Canada and elsewhere as well. And so we are being surprised by those who are affected by this. The other thing that I want to mention is that I know that there's going to be a temptation for some people who disagreed with Bruxy Cavey on a theological level to say, see, this just proves that he was a false teacher all along. And I think that that would be a mistake to do that. I realize that some people disagreed with some of the things that Bruxy taught, and I didn't fully agree with everything that he taught, but I don't fully agree with everything a lot of people teach. There's some very amazing pastors and professors and Christian leaders that I respect deeply, but I don't fully agree with everything they say. And I've never thought that Bruxy Cavey was a false teacher. And really, these accusations have nothing to do with that. And so those who might respond with some glee, like this is just what they've been waiting for, they knew that he would fall eventually, because how could a false teacher like him not fall? It doesn't go that way, because these same people can look at numerous leaders who would have completely orthodox teaching and beliefs as they would define it, and yet have fallen in just the same ways. There's no reason to be happy over anything here. However this turns out, there is going to be a lot of heartbreak, there's going to be a lot of pain, and we need to grieve. To rejoice at something like this is just unchristian. It really is unchristian to do that. So we need to pray for the person who has come forward as a victim, and we need to pray for Bruxy and his family. We need to pray for the meeting house. Those things all need our prayer. And I guess lastly, I just want to comment about how we approach something like this. And really, in the past, we have tended to take, especially high-profile people who are respected, we kind of take them at their word and just assume that probably they are innocent, and these women who come forward, they must be seeking attention or something like that. And sometimes that's explicitly said, sometimes it's a little bit more implicit. And again, we don't know the details. The investigation has not taken place yet, as far as I know. So we don't know. But there has been enough examples of victims within the church that we need to take their reports seriously and lean towards that. And if it ends up that Bruxy is innocent, then Bruxy is innocent, and that is great. But we need to actually approach this looking at a victim-centered perspective, that's really what needs to happen, because for too long it has been the leader who has been protected and the victim that has been marginalized, and we need to go in the exact opposite direction for this. So again, I'm sad that this has taken place, and the truth is, this is not going to be the last one. We are going to hear more and more of high-profile pastors and Christian leaders that we respect, deeply respect. They're the people that we think are the least likely to have an accusation like this against them. And yet, there's going to be more. It's just going to keep happening. and we need to fight against that. I'm thankful for the Meeting House, the way that they are addressing this. I'm also thankful that even though Bruxy is high profile and is a well-known leader in this area, that their church is not just based on them. And on Bruxy or other high-profile leaders, I actually think that the church would be able to survive without him, because it is not revolving completely around him, even if he was instrumental in the initial growth. But ultimately, it's about God, worshiping God, the discipling of people, and the loving of our community. That's what's really important, and not the platform of leaders, of any leader, including myself. It's not about my platform. It's not about anyone's platform. It's about these other things. Thank you for watching this, and again, I'm sorry that I had to record this video, and I'm sorry that I probably will have to record more. God bless.